The stage is set at the Hustler Casino. They have a high-stakes lineup including millionaire business owners, poker legends, and headliner regular. But the main characters for this epic clash is Garret Adelstein and Robbi Lew. Garret, poker pro with around 15 years of experience, and Robbi, an up-and-coming newcomer with some experience more in the tournament scene. The stakes are 100, 200, 400 with a 400 big blind ante. This poker session was all but normal for Hustler Casino with loose action and many $100,000 plus pots. The hand that would later rock the poker world takes place around 2 hours into the game, with Robbi straddling under the gun to $800, allowing for her to be the last one to act. Everyone folds their hands until we reach Garret in the big blind with 8-7 of club. Garret chooses to raise to $3,000, and Robbi makes a call with Jack-4 off, so going to a flop of 10-10-9, 2 clubs. Garret with an open-ended straight flush draw makes a bet of $2,500, and Robbi with just Jack-high makes a quick call. Turn comes the 3 of hearts, and Garret opts to bet $10,000 this time, looking to fold out some marginal hands that are beating his currently, but Robbi surprisingly makes a min raise to $20,000. With so much equity, Garret finds himself in the perfect spot to 3-bet jam for $129,000 effective. Sadly, Robbi's bluff was not able to work, and the hand is all but over in the commentator and viewers' minds, until we see Robbi start thinking, and thinking, and thinking, and all of a sudden, there's this creeping feeling starting to seep into the audience's mind. Then, Robbi starts talking.
I just want to call to see it. I think he might have me though.
Robbi begins to play with her chips and starts showing all of the signs of someone who wants to make a hero call. And after 1 minute of thinking, she does the unthinkable.
I call.
She calls?
Once or twice.
For once, but it's up to you. Yikes.
Oh my God.
Let's see the hand.
Yeah, I think he has me beat.
We'll go to the river. The river is a 9.
It's not fucking quiet. That one's you for sure.
They're gonna run it twice.
What is it called?
And the river bricks out again.
Oh my God.
Robbi chooses to run the river twice, leading to her winning both runouts and taking in a $269,000 pot. Neither person has shown their hand yet, as they both ask who has the better hand, leading to Garret acknowledging he must be beat. Garret, a man known for his humble behavior and sportsmanship when losing, is all smiles and offers a small compliment on the call. Robbi finally turns over her hand, revealing she only has Jack-high.
Jack-high?
What?
Whoa!
Look at
Whoa! What the fuck?
Whoa, look at Garrett's face.
That's some fucking poker right there.
That was sick.
Wow.
That's strong. That was sick.
Oh, shit.
That is super, super strange. You can see his reaction. Like, what?
Ma'am? Very nice to meet you.
From smiles to numbness, an immediate tension is felt just by looking at Garrett's expression. The room is silent. Only 2 players showing any emotion of shock and laughter, witnessing what will later be known as the most infamous hero call in poker history. But the laughter and congratulations from those 2 are merely a background noise to the looming thought in the minds of the audience, other players, and Garret. Did she just cheat? Garrett's eyes start darting around the room as he starts to take in what just happened. Bad beats and suckouts are all but too common in poker, but what Robbi did was a play that just isn't human. As if Garret had just seen a ghost, his mind starts racing, trying to remember every detail of the hand, to think of any logical reason for her call. But Garret sits in his long silence for minutes, with the room and commentator all doing the same. He finally goes into detective mode.
Ace high.
And then, so why call with Jack-high then?
First of all, a little bit of a straight draw, I have blocker or something.
No, on the turn though. So you called all in on the turn because...
Yeah, because you don't have shit.
That's right. She thinks you can't beat a Jack-high.
It's not about what I have. It's about what I don't think you have when you play against me. That's it.
You didn't think you had Jack-Queen of clubs?
75.
But Robbi's rationale is unclear, as she strings together random poker turns and mixes in some trash talk. With disbelief in getting an answer that is wholly incoherent, Garret begins to wonder who else is in on the cheat. As Garret has no choice but to pay her, he slowly hands over his chips with a continued look of shock. After a few hands of what looks like the most uncomfortable table of poker players, Garret tries one more time to get a rationale from Robbi about the decision she made.
You defend the
Why do you
action.
want me to explain it? There's multiple things that went into that.
Okay, go ahead.
It was ballsy.
Let's
for
hear
one.
it.
It was a hero call, borderline.
Right.
I did have the jack. Jack was also the clubs. There's 2 clubs on the board. Straight draw, backdoor flush draw.
You mean you called because you had a
Like-
straight draw and a flush draw? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
and so like I
Got
blocked
it.
a few combinations of what you could potentially be betting that high with,
Right.
right?
Right.
That's it. And also because you've bluffed me before.
Got it.
After another string of unsatisfying answers, it's clear Garrett thinks he was just cheated. Garrett exits the set, and it is found out that he is talking with the head of the show. After some time away from the camera with no live footage of this discussion, Robbi would also leave the set and join them. It is later found out that Garrett would accuse Robbi of cheating during this uncaptured conversation. The specific contents of this conversation are murky, given we only have testimonial evidence of what was discussed. But after some time away, we see Robbi re-enter the set, grab what is presumed to be over $100,000 worth of chips from her stack, and bring it back outside. Players at the table start to become more interested with what is developing offset. After a few minutes, the aftermath would be shown to the audience as a loud scream is heard offset.
I'm out.
What is going on here?
Give her the fucking money back. He made her fucking give him the money back.
This is really
Yeah,
unanticipated.
fuck that. I'm out. I don't play in this fucking shit. He fucking made her give the money back.
What do you mean made her? How do you make,
He
How do you-
fucking told her to give the money back and so accused her of cheating.
how do you make someone give the money back? I don't understand.
I don't know. He took it.
A player by the name of Rip, who is playing in the game, is screaming that Garrett forced Robbi to give him his money back. The studio erupts with confusion as most players are perplexed why she would willingly give him his money back, subtly hinting at it being a sign of a guilty conscience. Rip would end off taking his money and quitting the game after this, and only minutes later, we would see Garrett return and collect his chips and leave as well.
Garrett, are you okay?
Not, you know.
Okay.
There's about to be like millions of people that watch this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you give me some change, please?
Yeah.
The game is now in disarray as 2 players have left, and all remaining players are left to discuss the hysteria that has just occurred. The game would end up continuing to stream for another 3 hours, but the topic of Robbi's Jack 4 hand and possible theories dominate the conversation until the stream ends. Twitter would erupt overnight with tens of thousands of people chiming in with their theories of what just happened. What started as an open and shut case of cheating within the first 12 hours of debate slowly started to shift into some other plausible theories. Did she misread her hand? Did she call out of frustration? How could she cheat? Out of the hundreds of theories that were circulating the internet, only 3 emerged as plausible. 1. Robbi misread her hand, thinking she had Jack 3 and was making a hero call with bottom pair. 2. Robbi, an inexperienced newcomer, made a mistake and tried creating a rationale to save face and avoid embarrassment for her misplay. 3. Robbi, with the aid of another person, would have used a device on her body to cheat. At this point in time, very little information was out there, and the internet stood divided. Half thinking Garrett was a victim of cheating, and half thinking Robbi was just your average newcomer who just happened to make a big mistake that worked out. For supporters of Robbi, the theory that she misread her hand seems the most plausible, as it's something that is seen with a lot of newcomers who feel the stress of higher stakes. Garrett supporters would deny this theory, as they point to the live footage of Robbi rechecking her hand. The other theory posited by Robbi supporters was that she made a mistake and that her incoherent rationale could be summed up as someone trying to avoid the embarrassment of what is clearly a bad call. Both this theory and the misreading of her hand theory stand as equally valid, as neither theory would be confirmed or denied by Robbi in future interviews. Now for Garrett's supporters, the 2-person theory jumped to the top. In all poker streamed events, players will use special cards and poker tables that allow for each card to be scanned by the table and have the information sent to the production team so that they can broadcast the action in real time. Now, Garrett's supporters proposed a theory that a second individual would have been involved to pull off the cheat. The idea was that a mystery second person would have a device to detect the frequency of these cards being transmitted to the broadcaster, and that they would have known the outcome of each hand. By knowing this, people believe that this mystery person would signal Robbi using a device that would buzz in her pocket to let her know if she would win the hand. Now, as outlandish as this theory sounds, it would gain some traction online after a few days, as it was discovered that another player in the game by the name of Rip, same player seen yelling at Garrett and quitting the game, had given Robbi a significant portion of money to be able to play in this game. With this newfound connection, Garrett supporters were quick to connect the two as possibly working together to cheat. The internet exploded with stubborn fans on both sides attaching themselves to one theory, unwilling to accept any other possibility. As an internet war raged on, we would get a series of tweets from Garrett and Robbi about the incident and their perspectives from that night. Garrett would ultimately step away from poker, taking a 1-year hiatus with almost no public communication, and Robbi would attempt a few interviews to clear her name, but was seen playing in some tournaments later on. Following this hand, the Hustler Casino would conduct a third-party investigation and give access to how the investigation was being conducted to prominent poker YouTubers for the sake of transparency. After a few months of investigating, the independent third party found no foul play and ultimately ruled in favor that no cheating had occurred based on the records they had. Now, funnily enough, the investigation uncovered a different scandal through CCTV footage, finding that a staff member of the casino had been stealing poker chips from players. This staff member would be later identified as Brian Sagbixel, who was discovered to have stolen $15,000 from Robbi's stack the night of the incident. Brian would promptly be fired and was later arrested and convicted on 2 counts of felonious grand theft. The sentence agreement for Brian is not currently available, but will likely be public soon. So, after all of this, what is the truth? Many side with the third-party investigation, clearing Robbi's name, and others still side with Garrett, questioning the techniques used for the investigation. As of today, the mystery of this hand will likely never be uncovered, and most fans have settled on their own truth. Currently, Garrett has returned to poker in 2024, seen playing on different poker live streams. Robbi has been a bit quieter, just enjoying her time playing in poker tournaments. As time passes, this hand has been regarded as one that defies statistics and human reasoning. From poker players to the average person, everyone has given an opinion or theory. As it stands today, all we know is that this hand will be famous for decades to come and regarded as the hand that made the poker world stand still.